Hello guys, welcome to another edition of Ray Sports News and Debates. Okay, in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about the NFL playoffs, what we've seen in the wild card weekend, and what we're probably going to see in the divisional round as we get closer towards the Super Bowl here in a couple of weeks. Okay, first things first. Okay, we had the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, shout out to my boys. Put Tom Brady not in a retirement home because I don't think that boy's ever going to retire. But I was telling a bunch of my friends and coworkers, I can make a case this was Prescott's best game as a Cowboy. I mean, 4 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. There was never a shadow of a doubt that the Cowboys were winning that football game. Brady threw a red zone interception, which I don't think he's done since he was a Patriot. But Cowboys moved on. And one of the more not surprising upsets but happened was the Giants over the Vikings. I've been saying it all year. I don't think Kirk Cousins is the problem. Because when Kirk's been on, they're unstoppable. But it's like when he's not on, I think they were the first team 9 games above 500 to have a negative differential in points, because they won a bunch of close games, and if it wasn't close, they got blown out. Shout out to Daniel Jones. I picked the Vikings to win, and Danny Dimes, man, I think he proved a lot of people wrong by beating the Vikings, because there was no question who had the better offense. I mean, you have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, T.J. Hawkinson, Dalvin Cook, and all the Giants really had was Daniel Jones and Barkley. Really. But shout out to the Giants. I mean, they're going to go to New York. Cowboys are going to go to San Francisco. AFC side, one of the more surprising games. I was really surprised that it was close, but I think it was close for the wrong reasons. Was the Dolphins and the Bills. The Bills should have absolutely ran this team out the stadium. Even with Tyreek and Waddle, they didn't have Tua. And, that team with Tua had been almost unbeatable. But, shout out to the Dolphins and Skylar Thompson. That's why you play the game. That they made that a game. Josh Allen's 3 turnovers didn't help, but, the Dolphins made it again. That's all you can ask for. And man, I was watching this game. The Chargers were up 27-0. 27-0. Now, I've seen, the Vikings come back from 33-0. I've seen Tom Brady come down from 28-3, but 27-0. And you lose, man. Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions in the first half. They had 5 turnovers in total. But how do you give up a 27-0 lead? I mean, they went from not being able to score to just going all over up and down the field on that defense in the second half. Now, shout out to Trevor Lawrence. I'll give the boy credit. He probably had the worst first half of his career. And he came back. He made it a game. He had a chance to win it. They did. I don't know how Brandon Staley still has a job. Couldn't tell you how. They fired the offensive coordinator as if he was the reason they lost. That's on your head coach there, buddy. But shout out to the Jags, man. They never gave up. They've been, a team that's come back from numerous teams. They came back against the Cowboys. They came back against the Titans, But 27 down, man, I got to tip my hat to Trevor Lawrence. But going into the divisional round, we have the Jaguars traveling up to Kansas City. I think this game's going to be a whole lot closer than what people think. I think it's going to be a shootout. Defenses aren't really going to do much of anything, I think. But I can't go against Mahomes. I want to. I just can't. I'm going to go Kansas City 38, Jacksonville 35. I think it's close. I think Mahomes has to lead a game winning drive to get a field goal to beat Trevor Lawrence. Would I be surprised if Jacksonville won? Absolutely not. And I think if you asked anybody, no, absolutely not. Because they're a good team. You know, the record might not show it, but, you know, they got off to a slow start. But once they started figuring out things and Trevor Lawrence started being the Trevor Lawrence that we all kind of saw him out to be, coming out of Clemson, I mean, got to go with the Chiefs. Now, Trevor Lawrence is 37-0 on Saturdays. So either the streak's ending or it's going to continue. But nah, I just think Mahomes is on another level right now. I do think Trevor will keep it close, but I'm going to go Kansas City. Other AFC, we have a game that got canceled the last time that they played, for good reasons, of course. But we're going to have the Cincinnati Bengals going up to Buffalo to play the Bills. This one I think could go either way. I am going to go with Cincinnati because right now I trust Joe Burrow a whole lot more than I trust Josh Allen. I think over the last 7 or 8 games, he's up there with Dak with most turnovers in the league. And I just think, they've been squeaking by. And I think he's going to have another game where he's going to have multiple turnovers. And I think just Joe Burrow is going to make him pay. So I'm going to go Joe Burrow. So it's going to be rematch of last year, Cincinnati, Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. Now, I'm not sure if this is one of the scenarios where there's a coin flip involved to see if they're doing it at a neutral field or something. But yeah, I'm going to go Kansas City wins and Cincinnati wins. On the other side, I'm a big fan of underdogs, especially in the playoffs. I'm going to go New York over Philadelphia. I underestimated the Jets when they were playing the Vikings, and they beat them. I just think that defense is going to give Jalen Hurts a little bit of trouble, and the reports are going around his shoulder is still not 100%. I think it's close. I think it's 80 or 85%. But he takes one hit, he's done. He takes one bad hit where that weight goes on that shoulder again. I think he's done. But I don't know. I like that. I like the defense. In my opinion, I think the Eagles have been overrated the whole year. Yeah, they're 14-3 and Hurts is 14-1, but really they beat 2 or 3 good teams. This year. It was like the 12-5 Cowboys last year. But it was like, oh, they're overhyped, And, their first real competition when they played the 49ers last year was that they lost. But I'm going to go Giants over the Eagles. I'm slowly turning my head around Daniel Jones. I do not think he's an elite quarterback. I think he's having one heck of a playoff run. Joe Flacco had a great playoff run. Nick Foles had a great playoff run, and they ended up being not so good starting quarterbacks. But I'm going to go Giants. And in the other one, I'm going to get some scrutiny and some bias in this one. I'm going to go Dallas over San Francisco. I mean, what's helped San Francisco in the past is that they haven't gone up really against an elite offense or an elite defense the past 6 or 7 weeks that Purdy is taken over. I mean, I think his hardest game was Seattle. He beat the Bucs, and we all know who the Bucs are. Beat the Seahawks twice. They had injury problems the whole year, but I mean, they didn't really beat anybody, and I think the Cowboys are going to be a good test. Cowboys led the league in turnover or in takeaways this year. And if Prescott plays, like he played Monday night, I think the Cowboys have a great shot to win this game. I think they absolutely, if they can get the running game established, if they can just slowly pick apart that secondary, not taking anything away from the front four with Nick Bosa and everything, they can just establish a run game that can either have 1 turnover or 0 turnovers. I think they have a great shot. Brock Purdy has not gone up against a great defense since he's been the starter in San Francisco. And the Cowboys do have a pretty solid defense, even without Anthony Brown. And Diggs has been amazing this year on elite wide receivers. I'm thinking they're going to put him on Debo. That's what I would do to slow down that talent. But San Francisco has an elite offense and an elite defense. So I think it's going to come down to quarterback play. I don't think this is going to be as high as what people are making it out to be. But I'm going to pick Dallas. I'm going to go upset here. And it's not because I'm a Cowboys fan. I just think it's going to come down to which offense can capitalize over turnovers more. And I think it's going to be the Cowboys. And I just, Brock Purdy, he's played 6 games. He just played great. Not taking anything away from Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. But I'm going to go Cowboys. So in my NFC Championship game, I'm going to have the Dallas Cowboys hosting the NFC Championship game in Arlington against the New York Giants. And we're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Cincinnati Bengals in a rematch. We won't do the NFC Championship games right now, but we're going with those predictions right there, guys. Feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel today, guys. Super close to 100 subscribers on this channel, guys. And until next time, guys, have a great